Mark had recently started a new job at an old corporate building downtown. The office was housed in a towering skyscraper that had stood since the 1920s, filled with antique furniture and dimly lit corridors that gave it a rather unsettling vibe after hours. One late night, Mark was working overtime, preparing a crucial presentation. The office had emptied out hours ago, leaving only the faint hum of the air conditioning and the occasional flicker of the overhead lights. As he typed away, he felt the sudden chill of a cold draft, unusual for the sealed office windows. Trying to shake off the feeling, Mark glanced at the large glass wall that separated his cubicle from the empty conference room. Out of the corner of his eye, he thought he saw a shadowy figure standing there. He blinked, and it was gone. Minutes later, the office printer started up on its own, spitting out old, yellowed pages with strange, indecipherable symbols on them. Confused, Mark tried to pull the printer plug, but it kept running. Then the lights flickered violently, plunging the office into near darkness. Suddenly, the phones in the office began to ring, all at once. Mark hesitated but picked up one, only to hear a chilling whisper, "Leave now." Panicking, he ran toward the exit, but the door to the lobby was locked tight, though it should have been open 24/7. He headed for the stairs, his footsteps echoing in the empty hallways. As he climbed, he heard faint typing sounds behind him, but no one was there. At the stairwell's landing, Mark saw an old coat rack. Hanging on it was a tattered, dusty coat that seemed to move on its own, as if worn by an invisible figure. He tried calling out, but his voice was swallowed by an eerie silence. Suddenly, the coat seemed to float off the rack and drift toward him, blocking his way. Heart racing, Mark remembered the building's history. A janitor had died mysteriously on this very floor decades ago. With adrenaline pumping, Mark shoved the coat aside and sprinted down the stairs. When he finally burst through the main entrance, the receptionist's desk was empty and the building was quiet, like nothing had happened. Mark never worked late again.